They be like, ooh, ayy, finally got that deal, got a pen in my hand. Ooh, ayy, like how you tryna buy who the hell I am? You can keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I do me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams, how can you sleep? It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead, I quit the music industry.
What's going on, everybody? Well, we had fun on radio the other day, and we have 40-something comments from the person, Frankie Boy, that needs response to, I think. I mean, that's what I'm going to say. It needs response to. I responded to him in text, but I don't understand when people think one way and they don't think outside the box. He continues saying that YouTube's the only platform that's growing. YouTube's this, YouTube's that. He doesn't understand that Google owns YouTube and YouTube is a high revenue for ads. So they're going to send, even if it's right information, if it's wrong information, it doesn't freaking matter to them. They're going to send searches to YouTube. So you click on that to watch the ad to make Google money. That's it. Google is about money. It's not about right information. So he's leaning on that to say that he's right. Wrong's wrong, right's right. So I don't get it. He's putting down Facebook, and when we put out I put out the information that more stuff has been added to Facebook more so than YouTube in the last 20 years. His response is, but Google sends them there. Okay. Google sends people to Facebook too. So that's a moot point. Instagram is owned by Facebook. It's actually integrated. You can post on one and post on both at the same time. It's actually integrated. I do it all the time. So I want to go over these comments, and I'm going to go over some things that I thought of after the fact. The first thing is him saying the market's dead. The leopard gecko market's dead. And the way he's saying that is, we're not selling $500 and $1,000 animals, so the market must be dead, or the hobby is dead because we're not selling thousands of dollar animals, individual animals. And he's probably thinking of Black Knight because he invested in the Black Knight and he's not going to get what he got out of it. He don't have the name. And let's be honest, I'll get why the ball python market, the market, not hobby, is larger than the leopard gecko market and hobby. But let's move on to this. Ball python market is higher, not the hobby is stronger. It's the market's higher. So they're selling $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 animals, not that Joe Blow, not that 6-year-old kid, not that 12-year-old kid, not that 18-year-old kid. They're selling to other breeders. You got that right, Frank. You got it right. But that's the market. That's the market. Leopard geckos don't go for that much. And if you knew half of what you say you do, you would understand why. 100% you would understand why. Leopard geckos, any recessive, any dominant, and the incomplete dominant is going to get out there faster than leopard geckos because leopard geckos produce faster than ball pythons. Egg to adult, it just gets there faster. Ball pythons do not produce as fast as leopard geckos. So one, your recessives, your incomplete dominants, and your dominants are going to get out there a lot faster. That's why you see polygenetics and line breeding leopard geckos hold value longer, because people put their time in projects and don't release these projects because they don't want other people to start them projects themselves until they perfect what they're trying to do. A painter is not going to sit there and put up for sale a half-painted painting and try to get their money out of it. They're going to complete that painting first. This is just craziness, guys. This craziness, okay? So a $10,000 animal does not mean the hobby is doing better. Not even close. Anything like in the thousands and the 10,000s and the 50,000s and the 100,000s. Guys, there was $125,000 snakes getting sold 15, 20 years ago. That was a ball python market. That wasn't mean it was great. People were complaining that they couldn't sell ball pythons because every single soul has ball pythons in the show. So everyone says, oh, the hobby must be doing great. You go to a show and everyone has ball pythons. It's because people want to follow the money train. That's what it is. They see this person make money, this person make money, so they go into it. And how many people get out of the hobby because they don't make money? Money does not equal passion. So if you're getting into ball pythons just to make money and then you don't make money, that person is going to jump out anyway. And them snakes are either going to die, they're going to get sold off, they don't care, whatever. That's what happens. And we're going to get in the comments in a minute because some of the comments is like, oh God, it blew me away. These animals are not going to the hobby. I said that. I got little notes on my other screen. They're just not. The high-end stuff doesn't go to hobbies. I don't have that 12-year-old kid going, hey, Gary, I really, really, really want that $10,000 snake. I think I got my mom's credit card and I'm going to go ahead and spend it. Now, see how good the hobby is? I spent $10,000 on one snake. That's not how it goes. This Frank guy, I do more shows in 2 months than he's done all in 1 year. I'm seeing the new people come in. I'm seeing the adults come in and talk and ask questions and get interested. I'm seeing it in person, not behind a screen. He sits there and says that the John Scarboroughs and the Sykes and all these people need to get on YouTube and make YouTube video. Dude, one, they have families. Two, some of them have employees. They don't have time. It takes time. Not everyone is blessed enough just to have a girlfriend or a wife and not have to work and sit behind a screen. They don't have that luxury. They don't. So quit saying they don't have the passion because they're not making YouTube videos. Quit saying they don't have passion because they're not making Facebook pages. Quit saying they don't have passion because they only have 40 followers. Stop. You don't get it. YouTube is not the hobby. That's the problem. It is a tool in a toolbox. That is it. An expo is a tool in the toolbox. This live stream is a tool in the toolbox. 100%. Hey, what's up, guys? I didn't even go into the chat. Now I'm saying they don't have the passion that we do. And you're right. It was interesting until dude did air quotes from the 100 time. Oh, cool. But anyways, the morphs, okay, I put but on high morphs, others will view lower cost as bad quality. Oh, something else. He says the market's bad. I went over his prices. So the market, when you talk about breeding market and selling to other breeders, and that's who's going to buy your high-end morphs. So your $500 and $1,000 geckos are usually your high-end. Your $1,500, $2,000 are high-end, okay? So if you're selling an animal, let's say goes for average $1,500 and you're selling it for $500 to $600, usually you're going to price out them breeders looking for quality. They're going to think something's wrong with it. You don't know what you're doing, all that good stuff. So you're not going to sell that $500, $600 animal. It's a thing, okay? But again, that's not the hobby. That's the market. If I sat there and I sold every single one of my geckos for $50, I probably would sell at every reptile expo. It probably would happen. It wouldn't even be a thing. That would say the hobby is strong, right? No, it's going to be other people buying my animals to resell. So I just don't understand it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of these quotes, and I can actually do this so you guys know I am not. Let's go like this. So he says, I'm like 10 minutes in. So this is the first one. He says about hurting others' feelings. I don't really care about hurting anyone's feelings. None of my business what someone else thinks of me. I don't care. Let's see. Feelings are brands, and we just state what we think is true. What I think is true is you're a student and you're trying to teach. And you're trying to teach things after you learn them after 6 weeks. And you put them off as facts when a lot of your facts are false. So Andrew replies that he would love to get him on the show. Here's me personally. I don't want Frank on the show. I'm going to put it out there right now. I don't want Frank on this show because all it's going to do is he's just going to keep. I've talked to Frank for years, maybe a year. I don't know when he first came out, whatever. I talked to him. He said he didn't. There's a comment here that says he doesn't ask for my opinion. He's asked me questions. He's asked me questions. He goes, I have geckos dying left and right, blah, 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 blah. What's going on, Gary? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I have to look up the message what I told him, but it is what it is. He said he's going to give it a good listen because of He said, "Give it. I love all streams, but to say business is separate than the hobby is a little bit short-sighted. It's not, because everyone's business line is going to be different. If there's hobbyists out there, hobbyists that don't care if they make a nickel or not. That's a hobby. They're going to go. They're going to breed their geckos. They don't care if they make profit or not. That's the hobby. They're doing it because they love breeding leopard geckos. That's it. They could care less. Then you got people like me and Steve Sykes and stuff like this that does have a business side. We do love breeding geckos, but it also has to make money. That is business, 100% business. There's no difference about it. I mean, it's just, there's business and hobby. Now, you sit there and say that if there is no business side, there is no hobby, is sort of correct. But I'm gonna give you an example. And this is the sports card trade. Wally Kern brought this up, that sports cards was one of the reasons why he, gave an example. He got out of sports cards. There's too many collectibles, okay? Too many. And then he said geckos have too many morphs now, which we can go on to sports card collecting to show why business and hobby separate. In the last 3 years, the business side of sports collecting has boomed. It has priced out the hobbyist. You cannot go to your Walmart. You cannot go to your Target. You cannot go to a sports card shop and pick up $1, $2, $3 pack of cards anymore. A box of cards with 3 to 5 packs in it costs $80 to $100 now. So that kid, the hobbyist, got priced out of it because the businesses knew they could flip it to other businesses and other large collectors that are doing it for money. 100%. They are buying this card to hope it increases so they can sell it and make 10 to 15% on their money. So the hobbyist got priced out of it. Leopard geckos don't price out their hobbyists. Don't price them out at all. There's always going to be them leopard geckos that are pretty, that are high end. There's not as many morphs as in ball pythons, but we do have polygenetic that ball python people just don't do. You could probably do it, but it takes longer because ball pythons take longer to breed. So 100%, you could price out the hobby. Now you just got market people trying to make a buck. That's not hobby to me. That's money. Because if it don't make money, they're going to dump it. The hobbyist is going to keep the animal no matter what. They don't care if their ball python's worth $10,000. They don't care if their leopard gecko's worth $1,000. They just want the leopard gecko. That's hobby. The best teachers consistently make the new content because it's needed to keep growing the sector of the hobby. That's why school books always get renewed. 100%. But the students aren't teaching something they learned 2 weeks ago and then messing it up and saying it's fact. It's not happening. It's just not happening. So it's not like, okay, I knew what 2 plus 2 is. It equals 4. But guess what? Today I think it equals 5. So I'm going to teach everyone it equals 5 because in my head it equals 5. That's not how it goes. Teachers had to go through a certain schooling to become a teacher. So that's a really bad thing to say. You're saying, Frank, you don't understand everything 100% yet, which is fine. But sometimes you got to use this more than this. You just do. Gary specifically said on his video that he was getting out for a business standpoint. I'm going to let you know something. I know Garrett. Do you know Garrett? I know Garrett. So he did, but that was a business decision, not a... Okay, listen. We talked about it before. Ball pythons have a higher end market where other breeders are buying other breeder stuff to breed to make more money. Them aren't hobbyists buying it. So he was making money. He'll tell you, he was making money with leopard geckos. They were selling just fine. But the leopard gecko market did not price out the hobbyist. A kid can walk into Tinley Park and walk out with leopard geckos. It will be damn hard to get ball pythons, especially the cool ones that you're seeing on YouTube. So, Evan did put out videos. Evan's podcast is actually listened to a lot. It shows how much you research that history again. You know, that past that doesn't matter to you. Secrecy and projects. I go back to it again. If you're making a painting, you're not going to release it halfway through and say, hey, you're going to start buying this painting. They want to get it to a certain point to release it for their look. That's why it's secrecy. There's projects going on everywhere. I don't need to tell you my projects for you to create your project. If you're so simple-minded that you can't create projects without me telling you all the projects that I'm doing, then maybe you're just doing it for the money. Maybe you're looking for the quick buck. We're not. We're doing it because we love it. And you expected an invite from me. I didn't want you on. I didn't want you on at all. Andrew didn't mind, and our guest wanted you on. What we really need from John Scarborough's Suburban Gecko and Geckos, etc., to chime in on their thoughts. Oh, sorry, they can't because they're too busy dominating their sector. Let me tell you this right now. John Scarborough is far from someone that he hates this bullshit. He hates it. So to name them people right there, to name them people and sit there and say, hey, guess what? John Scarborough, they're too busy dominating. Dude, you don't even know John. I know John. So you're talking about people you don't even know. Because they're not on YouTube? Because they're not on YouTube or on all the other platforms and going off. Let me tell you something. John's got a family he takes care of. Again, he's not blessed enough to sit there and have a girlfriend or a wife and just be able to sit at home and do what he wants to do, which is all power to you. Go for it. But don't judge someone else because they're doing something else in their life and not on YouTube. Don't judge them like that and saying they're trying to dominate. Because John Scarborough's the last one to try to dominate anything. I'm not complaining about my decisions. I'm fully aware of the decision I make. It was you, Gary, who took the approach of this guy needs help. False. You ask me questions all the time for the longest time. And I gave you my opinion. I said, dude, this is why people are giving you pushback, blah, blah, blah. You didn't like it. Guess what? You don't like it. You don't like it. I don't care. Leopard geckos is not rocket science. I've been keeping since I was a kid. I kept and bred Leos before I actually was full-time. Cool. Then why have you posted so much false information? Leopard Gecko Wiki is the #1 place to learn about morphs. Oh, Morph Mark is the #1 place to learn about morphs. Oh, my Lord. This goes on and on and on. Leopard Gecko Wiki has been a laughingstock of the leopard gecko community for a long time. When Ohio Gecko bought it, Thad, he wanted to correct it. But again, Thad had a family. He was a breeder, and it just takes time. You know, we can't just sit there and put our families on hold and say, guess what, guys? We got to update this website for 50 hours this week, and I got to work 50 hours, and I got to take care of the geckos. It takes time. Leopard Gecko Wiki is a laughingstock. Garrick leaving the reason of financial... no. Garrick did leave. He did not leave leopard geckos. He still has geckos. I'll tell you that. He still has geckos. But for the time he had, it was more intelligent to breed high-end ball pythons to sell to other breeders and other breeders that would buy from him. Okay, that goes back into selling stuff. If you're a store, this is why Garrick DeMeyer did not start. His business is not a hobby to him. It's a business. But value of individual animals does not say that the hobby is dying. Just because leopard geckos are not selling for $10,000 a leopard gecko does not mean the hobby is dying. I don't know how else to say it. A $50 leopard gecko has the same value as a $10,000 ball python. Leopard geckos make the best morph breeding lizard. Okay, I guess. Half the hobby likes lizards, but not half the hobby is investing in lizards. Investment is not hobby. Investment is business. So hobby is not investing. You do not invest in a hobby. That's not even the definition of a hobby is investing. You don't invest in a hobby. Or should I say invest? You want to invest in your hobby to build your hobby, but you don't want to invest in a hobby think you're going to get a return. That's because we need to promote more. Dude, leopard geckos are promoted all over. Just because they're not all on YouTube like you think doesn't mean anything. All I'm saying is something is wrong when you've been doing it 20 years and have 400 followers. Cool, I have 400 followers. I don't even think I have 400. I think that's it. But my original, for the old school people, I had 410,000 subscribers on my old channel. I was one of the largest YouTubers or pet tubers back in the day. Back in 2009, before you were even thought of. before you even touched your first leopard gecko. I was doing venomous YouTube. I was doing snake YouTube, leopard gecko YouTube, all this stuff. I was doing it. Where do you think all these people have heard of me? There was something on YouTube that a lot of larger channels got broken into or whatever. They say hacked. I don't believe in that word hacked because it was a server side thing that, people broke into accounts and deleted all my content. It took me 3 months to try to get my account back. And I just said, screw it. And I created another account and I didn't want to upload everything. I just didn't. I gave up. It was hard. Having 410,000 subscribers and then losing them all overnight, I was burnt. I was done. And it was about a time that I had something really bad happen in my life. And if you're interested in history, I know you're not. History sucks to you. You don't like the history of the hobby. You don't like the history of the business. But I do have my podcast up telling about what happened in 2010. I got to look. Oh, look at us. I got Heidi up here. Mr. Carl, I completely agree. We have too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Ego. Yes. He's a joke, bro. What's up, dude? He's a joke. I've already given him way more attention. I agree. He's a joke. His followers just don't know. Decided to put him on a rampage. Who decided to put him on a rampage? It was me. I get on these rampages, guys. I do. You have to create excitement. It just doesn't come. Dude, create excitement is not putting out false information. Ron knew what he was doing with the Galaxy. I'm not going to get into that because more than you know, because again, we're going to talk about history, something that you've blatantly said that history doesn't matter. It happens all the time. You're just not in the back door. You just don't know what's going on because you don't have a key to that back door. Why do you need me? Why do we need Matt? Matt Baranek is, no matter what, he's still a very valuable piece because he wouldn't be spewing off bullshit like you are. That's it. Matt Baranek is a value to the community. People need real, not fake podcasts like this, I guess. I don't know. I've never been fake in my whole life. No one will buy your collection because the market is not hot. It has nothing to do with that. My comment to him was this. No, see, ball pythons, with your words, is doing great. Whole collections never go for market value. The people that can afford it already have it. See, there are three market worlds. Retail, wholesale, back door. You don't have a key to the back door. I'm telling you this. Any large collection on my level or anyone else's level never goes for market value. Because if you go by market value, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in time and blah, 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 the racks. It just doesn't go for what they are going for on Morph Market. Don't want to do quotes. Someone said I do quotes. Well, I don't give a shit either. On Morph Market, it just doesn't happen. I've been in this hobby longer than you've probably been alive. Nothing ever goes. I've seen people come and go, come back, go, leave again, come back, leave again, sell their collection, try to buy it back, blah, blah, blah. Collections never go for what they are. There's a couple reasons. When someone's getting out, the person knows they're getting out for a reason. They're going to offer them less than going market. It's just what it is. It's just what it is because you're going to be able to get it for cheaper. I don't know whatever I said wrong about Eclipse or any more. Dude, I don't know if I want to go over all your videos. I tried to tell you that polygenetics are kind of like, just because you don't see it in the gecko doesn't mean it's not there. Like red stripe. I tried to explain red stripe to you if you remember that. And I tried to tell you how reverse stripes come out of Eclipse. And you just weren't having it. Yeah, does it let you know? Garrett still has leopard geckos. It's funny that he says not. Facebook is potentially dying. It's not dying. I don't get what you're saying. Okay. Facebook's not dying. YouTube's not dying. Instagram's not dying. None of them are dying. It's people like you that draw lines and say, this one's dying. You have to be this one or you're not cool. That's the problem. You're not on TikTok, you're not the cool person. If you're not on Instagram, you're not cool. Oh, you're not on Twitter, you're not cool. If you're not on that new one that starts with a V, I don't even know what it is. You're not cool. If you're not on this one, you're not cool. This is the only way. Dude, just get your information right and start doing it right, and then everything will be fine. Stop breeding geckos to make money, like lemon frost, and killing animals to make money. Like, I'm going to breed the lemon turk. And, That's another one. We got to go there now. Talk about the other thing. Izzy's another person like you. But he said that he's tired of people naming morphs, but he tried to use the word ghost. Again, Frank, you need to know the history of leopard geckos before you start, spouting off at the top of your lungs about what's going on. The gecko market is not dying. The gecko hobby is not dying. Actually, the last 3 years have probably been the best 3 years for the leopard gecko market, the ball python market, the reptile market as a whole. The last 3 years have probably been the best it's ever seen in its whole life. There's been more money made in every single sector of the reptile hobby and reptile market and reptile business. More people are getting into it. More people are asking questions. More people are doing this. Just because Frank doesn't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Frank, you are not center of the world. You just like your last video, someone, what's up, guy? I don't know what's up, guy or gal. Just like your last saying how to breed and how to pair and how to do this and how to do that. I can nitpick that apart. Dude, I've been doing this so long. The reason that these older breeders are telling you this, we're trying to teach you off our own mistakes. We're trying to let you not make them mistakes so you can learn other things and help out the hobby too. But you're going through this stuff and then you make a mistake and then you act like you never did it. You're not humble. You think you know everything. You don't know the words I don't know. Literally, you've asked me a question. I've answered it. You made a YouTube video about it 2 days later, act like you knew everything. That's not how it works, dude. You've been breeding for 2 years. Okay, you've been breeding for 5 years. I don't know. On the hobby level, you've been breeding less than I don't know. Bro, I've hatched out more in a day than you have your whole life. It just doesn't make sense, some of the things you say. Someone asked me this morning why I give a shit. Why I give a shit is because you do have a special thing going on, saying that, like you can grab attention. If you look at your followers, they're all new to the hobby. They don't know what they're doing. You have this special thing that you are good on the camera. There's another person, and I'm going to compare you to him. And some of these people might know who they is. And Muff Daddy TV, you remind me of him so much. He's gone. But he was great on the camera. He has charisma. He did characters. I mean, he could draw an audience. But he used to just babble false crap to get views. And he died off. He reminds me of Muff Daddy 100%. Sometimes saying I don't know is better than saying I do know, and then saying the other thing, like tangerine. I'm getting greenish hues, and the emerine is in tangerine. Where do you think emerine came from? You could take your greenest geckos out of your tangerine and start getting green geckos. My bloods have emerine. Here's another thing you said wrong about a morph. You're showing morphs off. This is the most normal looking leopard gecko. It's not. Macularis is the ugliest damn thing in the world when it comes to leopard geckos. What you showed as a normal wasn't a normal. It was actually a hypo. Oh my God. It's cringeworthy. It's like I can't get it out of my mind sometimes. That's why I don't watch your videos anymore. Because I would rather have my videos not look good and have the correct information. You would rather your stuff look amazing and you be flamboyant and all this and don't care what's coming out of your mouth. Yeah, we already got stupid stuff getting posted there. I don't get it. You just post oh, this is that, and this is this, the tangerine stuff you post up. And I mean, like, I just learned on learn what you got NDBE in your collection. I hope you're telling people that morph has some issues. Are you going to be the issue breeding guy? Are you going to take on every damn thing that has issues and just breed it and breed it and breed it and breed it and breed it? That's going to kill the hobby, because everything in your collection is going to have issues. So then when people get it, they're going to get out of the hobby because it's going to die or something's going to go wrong with it. So that new little kid that's got is going to have a NDB with web feed or small eyes or whatever, and they're going to get discouraged and be out of the hobby. The only reason that market and business side support hobby is our ethics as business people have to support the hobby. But you take the ball python breeders out of it, and they're high end. If you took the ball pythons and priced them all under $500, 90% of breeders would say screw ball pythons. They would be done. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do ball pythons. You can tag whoever you want. I don't care. You could tag anyone. The reason I don't want to mind, guys, I'll tell you why, is I'm very passionate. I get lit. I just don't like his morals. He would rather be cool and looked at cool than have morals. I don't care if anyone likes me. I don't care. As long as my animals that leave my breeding facility is healthy, I don't care. As long as they're represented correctly with the correct morphs, correct genetics, and all that, I don't care. I don't care if someone sits there and goes, Gary's an asshole. Gary's an idiot. Gary's a jerk. But he sold me this leopard gecko, and I know it's what he said it is. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, Gary's so awesome. Gary's sweet. Look at all this cool videos and stuff. But I bought a gecko from him. I got to test it for 10 years. Let's see this. No, the gecko hobby is definitely not dying. I bred my first pair in 2020, and then in 2021 season, I did a few more pairings, and it was great for me, but it takes hard work, and you have to pay your due diligence. I spent a number of years researching and learning, first reading through the gecko forums, listening to all the Gecko Nation radio episodes, Late Night Leos, Strength and Leo Sassabek videos, and Tremper books. Perfect. You just named all the stuff that he says isn't there. You just named everything that he says is not there. He's the only one doing it. Why do we need a Matt back? Matt's a genetic genius. Matt knows more about genetics than I do. The guy's a freaking encyclopedia. He just is. He's an encyclopedia. Is he hard to take? Yeah. Is he blunt? Yeah. Is he intelligent? Hell yeah, he is. I just don't understand why people do what he does. I've seen, this is the thing, is I talk to a lot of people like, we all seen a guy like this. There's so many, they come in and out, in and out, in and out of the hobby. I don't know who Theo's Pets from Geek. Oh, there's not drama. I'm just trying to stand my ground. I've been holding this back for a while. I hate when people sit there and say, just because you don't have a YouTube channel, you're not contributing to the hobby. Just because you're not doing it their way, you're not contributing. I've been told this by good friends. At least someone's creating content. I'm not a YouTuber, guys. I'm not. I got YouTube videos coming out. I got them ready. And I do a podcast, and most people watch on YouTube. Most people watch on Twitch, though, as I say. Sorry. What's up, Twitchers? I know that sounds so weird when I say Twitchers. Well, I'm not a YouTuber. And he keeps saying these old guys, and I took it personal when he went after John. John Scarborough donated all them lemon frosts that he had money invested in, because he is a breeder. He invested. Donated. Do you know how much money he lost? Then to have a kid come up and goes, I'm going to breed it out, because he bought the project from someone else. He didn't even start the damn project. He didn't even do it. He bought it. And then the person that started it was so ashamed of him. He was like, oh, I'm done with this shit. And then he's like, oh, I've created the first Frosty Turk 4th gen, blah, blah, blah. Dude, stop it. You talk about name and stuff, but then you're promoting that you produced the first 4th gen Frosty Turk? Like that's a trophy? Oh my Lord. Now we got a person saying that they created a 4th generation of something as a first in the world. That's insanity to me. I mean, let's go over Frank's collection that he's put out there. Tangerine, which now I heard has NDBE in it, his #1 male, has NDBE in it. So if he wants to work with it, he wants to work with it. Whatever. Cool beans. Black Knight, which has known female fertility issues, small skull differentials, all that. So another problem child, which still Black Knights are cool. But there's a lot of problems with them. He said he's going to get Enigma, but I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to. Lemon Frost, which he's actually put on camera. He was like, guys, look, it doesn't have it. And right in front of the camera, it had one. Mind-blowing. So, Lemon Frost. So, that's what he's working with. And then Snow Gene. That's what he says. But there's more than one Snow Gene. I wish he would just dive in and research because no matter what you feel about him, I don't like the guy anymore. I don't like him because he just doesn't have conversations. He just thinks his way's the way, and I'm not saying my way's the way. I'm saying is before you let out that the Frosty Turk was a thing, make sure that don't do tumors. You lost all credibility by going, I got Frosty Turks, they're perfect. And showing one, it had one. It had one. So why continue doing it? It is a shit show. 100% it's a shit show. Let's call it like it is. I'm trying to be honest 100%. I keep saying that all us breeders, it don't matter if you're breeding as a hobby level, you're breeding as a business level. We're breeding to put animals in boxes for our own pleasure. Now, someone called me a PETA lover because of that. I'm not. I just understand what I'm doing. So if I'm going to breed animals to put in a box for my own pleasure so I can look at them, I'm not going to breed animals I know are going to die or have health issues. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to create more little babies that can have health issues and grow up and not have quality of life to live in a box. I'm not going to do it. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I just everything. I mean, I could probably watch every one of his videos and I could start picking out stuff that's wrong. The one I did watch, he goes, you want to learn about every single morph in the world? Blah, blah, blah. Watch this video. And he doesn't talk about half of them. Then he says that history is not a big deal. History is not a thing. We don't need it. It's always about present day. Brother, the present day was built off the history of yesterday. And that's what I'm talking about, dude. I don't get it. I'm going to go back to this. I'm not going to go there. And that's it. Gary is honest and passionate about this hobby. I wish everyone should be, but they are not. DEA Exotics are selling something to someone. And you're right. Do you know when people come up to me, I get so many people in expos come up to me and say, well, how long do these live? They live like 6 years, right? I'm like, no, they live 20 to 30 years. They're like, whoa. But I'm like, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You're not getting a throwaway pet. You got to teach responsibility. This is something that's going to be with you for a while. And some people say it's too much. Some people, they don't. I take my daughter to the reptile shows, and she's educating people as they go. I'm part of the board of the Madison Area Herp Society, one of the largest herp societies in America. So I get to see at that point. And that's what I'm talking about. I like that. I hope you get tons of eggs. I hope you get tons of stuff and get what you're shooting for. That's going to be amazing. But everything he said is just like pointing to him being the best. dude, I'm glad that you think you're the best. That's what you should be. You should think you're the best at everything you do. But sometimes you got to shut your mouth. Sometimes you just got to go, I don't know about this, so I'm not going to post about it. And the hobby dying, dude, 3 years ago, I was the only, other than Heidi, it was me and Heidi. But Heidi wasn't doing all the shows. She was doing Sewerfest. It was just me. And now there's tons of people. There's a person, I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wants me to say her name. But she bought most of her collection off of me. She's breeding and selling at the same shows I am. Do you know what I told her? You can't get into a show you can set up on my table. Sell your geckos. Hobby dying? Maybe it's just the hobby shut their door to you. Maybe that's it. You don't have a key to the door. You're that guy still knocking on the door and the little thing's coming open. Hey, up, click. That's you. I just, him saying that my collection went, dude, my collection wouldn't even come close to selling for market value. It wouldn't. If Brian Barczyk got out of the hobby of breeding ball pythons, his collection wouldn't go for market value. Do you know how I know this? I look at history, what you don't look at. And every other person that's ever gotten out of the hobby of anything, out of the business side of anything. So you take the business breeders and the hobby breeders. When they got out of it, their stuff never gone for market value. 1, they're getting out, they want out. 2, people know it and they're going to offer less. 3, if you buy the whole collection, you're going to get a deal. Welcome to the back door, the true market. Welcome to it. So, seriously, until you understand who you are, you're not going to do it. You're not going to be anybody. You could sit there and get your 3,000. Dude, let's be honest. 3,000 subscribers is nothing. 4,000 subscribers are nothing. 10,000 subscribers are nothing. Who gives a flying shit? It's nothing. We're sitting behind a computer. I'm sitting behind a computer screen right now with a green screen behind me, sitting there talking to people watching me. Does that make me feel cooler? I honestly, I love that they're here, but I don't care. Because people watch and subscribe doesn't make me a better person when I shut this off and go upstairs to take care of my family. It doesn't make me a cooler person when I go and scoop out poop like every other breeder does out of their tubs and put mealworms and roaches in the cages. I'm not going to sit there and go, I got 3,000 subscribers. I got 3,000 subscribers. I'm not doing that. I'm over there scraping poop out, washing and getting it done. Your popularity on YouTube doesn't make you a better person. Your morals make you a better person. So, I don't know. 4,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, dude. I had 400,000. I was nobody. 400,000 subscribers. I was nobody. I was getting paid by YouTube. I think I'm going to call it out like it is, Frank. I think you're just trying to make money off YouTube. You want money off TikTok. You don't like Facebook because you can't make money off Facebook. Straight up. You just want to be a YouTube star. Go for them stars, man. Jump up there, become that star. Hopefully it's great for you. It's craziness, man. Frankie boy, you went on and did 45 comments on that video. Glad you watched it. I'll tell you this right now. Adam wants you on. I love Adam. Adam's my boy. Andrew wants you on. Adam's my brother. He's family. I don't want you on my show. And it's not because you're going to bring down my show and I'm going to be part of it. I just don't like who you are. I don't like that you put the animals second and your fame first. I don't like it. I just don't like it. What's up, Moon? How you doing? Yeah, and Todd, you're 100% right. The hobby's already seen what you're about, and they're giving up. It's the new people. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. I don't understand people like him. He wants me to tell him what he says wrong, but when I tell him it's wrong, it's like Red Stripe just pops out into a new line. It's not. Red Stripes have been bred in so many things. You're going to have animals that don't look red stripes. It's going to pop red stripes, just like reverse stripe. Reverse stripe came from Eclipse. It's an Eclipse thing. It's an Eclipse thing. Oh my God. But breeding what you've bred, you won't know this yet because you don't believe in history, the research to history. I mean, dude, I wish you would get Ron Tremper's book. Some of the information in there, like the white and yellow being poly instead of dominant. White and yellow is dominant. But in the book, it says it's line bred. But the book is still pretty damn good. It knows more than you. Read the damn thing. Read it. It has 3 books out. Read them. So, all right, guys, I've been on here for about 45 minutes. I'm going to get out of here. I'll probably get some more messages. Let's see if we can get them to comment like 100 on this one because it's just me. Attack me, dude. Say some bad things about me because I morally don't like you. I don't like your morals. I don't like that you got on other people's channels and, pushed off your morals to make yourself look cooler. The animals do mean something. I'm not going to produce thousands of lemon frost to try to prove out that I can make a lemon frost without tumors because guess what? There's so many morphs, there's so many colors. We don't need the lemon frost. We don't need it. As a hobby and as a market, we do not need the lemon frost. We do not need Enigma. We do not need it. There's other things we can do. But if that's what you want to be, is a breeder that goes after the problem childs, that's what you're going to be labeled as. That's what's going to be. It's going to be Frank, the geeky problem child. That's what it's going to be. So on that note, I'm out, guys. Talk to you guys later.